Let me ask you something that might be a little uncomfortable but necessary. What does success look like to you? Because chances are, if you work in healthcare, somebody else is defining what success looks like for you. You need to pick up more shifts, be more productive, get that promotion, get that raise. But what if success isn't all of that? What if success is having the freedom to live life how you want, to spend more time with your family, to travel, to work on projects that you like? What if that is real success? And that is exactly the topic of today's video. Hi, my name is Christian. I'm a certified occupational therapist, and I'm on a mission to teach healthcare workers how to use artificial intelligence to their advantage. See, the big problem in healthcare, at least in my opinion, is that most healthcare workers are taught to survive in the system. They're praised for spending all their time and energy to their jobs, to picking up more shifts, to being as productive as possible, and basically giving everything that they have to their job. But very rarely are they asked about what they want. Because here's the thing, I don't care how good you are as a healthcare worker, at some point, because you're a human being and not a machine, you will start to feel burnt out. You're going to get tired, you're going to get exhausted, and it's not a very sustainable way to go about life. At least if you want to live a life where you have all the freedom and happiness to basically do things and live life how you want. To me, success means getting to do what I love, to help the people that I care about, and to live life with the freedom to choose how I want to live, to work when I want, to travel when I want, to spend more time with the family. And I think if you are watching this right now, and you don't even have to be a healthcare worker, you can be anyone, I think your goals are pretty similar to mine. But here's the thing, when we start to talk about freedom, we have to face the uncomfortable truth that in order to get more freedom, you need to make more money. And that's where most people get stuck, because how can you just simply multiply your income, right? But the interesting thing is that with the dawn of artificial intelligence, with the internet and all this, combining it with your unique skills as a healthcare worker, there is many opportunities. And I want to introduce how you can actually start to see those opportunities in this video. Because the big mistake that most healthcare workers fall into is that they want to make more money, but their options are very limited. They just keep on grinding away, working harder and harder. But because of the crazy student debt, because of inflation, because of having to start a family, pay off a mortgage and all these kind of things, you never really feel like you're getting ahead. So yes, you're working harder, you're probably making a little bit more money, but it never feels like you're getting ahead. If you really want to get ahead and to get that freedom to really break through that ceiling, then we need to do a little things that are out of the norm in order to make more money. And this doesn't necessarily mean you have to start a full-on business or anything, but maybe we can start to explore maybe consulting, teaching, creating digital products. There are so many options available. So you need to be in a mindset that it is possible. You simply have to seek the solutions and figure out the tools that you need to make that become reality. Now, I want to talk about artificial intelligence a little bit, because I think for the majority of healthcare workers, we sort of think about this as this really fancy search engine. Or maybe some people think it's going to steal their jobs or something like that. But artificial intelligence, just like any other thing in the world, is simply a tool. And it depends on how you use it. If you use it smartly in an effective way, it can probably benefit you in the long run. But if you simply just ignore it and not really think of trying to use it, or you're really negative towards it, then, well, you're never really going to benefit from anything about it. But the reality of how our world is evolving is that artificial intelligence is being integrated into everything. I don't really have to push it anymore. You can just go on YouTube or listen to the news and all that. AI will be integrated into many businesses in the world, including healthcare. So it's way better that you learn how to utilize it to your advantage than try to ignore it or fear it. At least that is my opinion if you want to get ahead in this life. And the way I use artificial intelligence is pretty unique, I want to say, because I don't think about it simply as a way to just search for information and to try to, detail out a bunch of different things. I think one of the greatest strengths of artificial intelligence, it helps you understand who you are. It helps bring clarity to what are the steps you need to take and gives you direction on where your mindset needs to be or what things you have to actually search for or build towards in order to get to the goals that you want to go towards. And because of this, if you're able to give the AI context, right, to tell it what your goals are, what your dreams are, what your strengths and your weaknesses are, then artificial intelligence AI is now able to generate, I'm talking about generative AI, right, things like ChatGPT, it's able to create a plan that is very specific for you. That's where I think the true power and the true, help of artificial intelligence can really come in healthcare workers, because it covers a very huge, weakness that most of healthcare workers have. We are very skilled at our jobs, but we're so specialized to one specific field. but AI as a whole is able to help us create things on the internet, to build things, to help be a little bit more tech savvy. AI covers all our weaknesses, and I think it's a match made in heaven if you're able to, as a healthcare worker, understand how to use this to your advantage. So what I want to do is I want to show you how you can prompt an AI, prompt ChatGPT specifically, in order to help you define what success is. And based on that, it's going to help us give a little bit more clarity on the directions you need to take, what kind of skills that you can probably make use of in order to scale your income, and how you can eventually get to that goal of getting the freedom that you want. So let's go ahead and get to it. So here we are on ChatGPT. We're going to be using this for activity today. And quick reminder, if you do want to follow along with this process, I will have a free link in the description where you can download a worksheet, and you'll basically have all the prompts. You can just plug it in and do this activity yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to first have AI define what success is for us. Then we're going to have it brainstorm some ideas of some actions that we can take. Then we're going to ask it for actionable steps that we can start taking once we decide on one of these ideas. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. So the prompt that we're going to use is going to be this right here. Hi, ChatGPT. I work in healthcare. If you don't work in healthcare, just replace this word, right? And I'm trying to redefine what success looks like to me. Here are a few things I want more of. And here's where you get to type in a bunch of stuff. So for me, at least, I'm not to be shallow or anything, but I want more money. I want more freedom, more opportunities to work with healthcare professionals, more time to spend with the family, and more time to, travel, for example. Pretty generic stuff, but this is just things that I want. You don't have to overthink it. Just speak from the heart. What do you actually want, right? Nobody asks you this. Nobody asks what you want a lot of the time. So this is kind of your opportunity to kind of let loose. And here's what I want less of, okay? I want less stress about my financial problems. I want less, basically, I guess, pressure to always have to work. Less feeling like my actions aren't making a difference towards moving to my goals, right? Just a bunch of things. You can obviously go a lot more in depth with these questions. The general idea here is you just want to answer this honestly, because the more context you can give the artificial intelligence, the more it can understand who you are as a person. And in fact, my last video actually went a lot more depth into how you actually teach the AI who you are as a person. Today is more specific about success. So yeah, so basically if money, and then let's move on to the next question here. If money weren't a concern, I love to spend my time doing, honestly, like what I'm doing right now, making YouTube videos and tutorials on how healthcare workers can use AI to their advantage. I also would like to travel, spend more time with the family, and play more video games. I like playing video games. If you watch this channel a lot, you'll see some references to that. So yeah, that's about it. And then right here, I was like, can you help me describe what personal success might look like based on these values and goals? So now I'm just going to hit it. And it might sound like a very simple action, right? Like, why can't you just define success for yourself, right? But it helps when you have a second person, especially a supercomputer like an artificial intelligence, help you kind of organize your thoughts, right? You want to talk to it and see what it responds, because it's not, you don't want to take everything word for word, but at least you can read a little bit about what you want. So here, let's go over it, right? Success to me means waking up without the weight of financial stress, correct? Knowing that my income doesn't depend on trading hours for dollars. It's about having freedom to choose how I want to spend my days, working on projects that matter, being present with family, and traveling when I want to. Excellent, right? And success looks like building a life where I can use my strengths in healthcare and my passion for AI to educate and empower healthcare worker professionals. And depending on what your skills are, right? Maybe you're someone who's really into fitness, you like exercise, you like dieting, maybe you're into martial arts, into music. Just input all the things over here and what you envision a successful life for you will look like. You can't just simply be on vacation 24/7. You need to have some sort of value, some sort of skill that you're providing to other people. And yeah, basically help the artificial intelligence design like what does success look like to you, right? So going on is about working with attention, not obligation. It can get pretty generic at sometimes, but the whole idea here is to give the AI some information about what am I looking for, right? Now, I'm not going to go over this whole thing, but you can try it out yourself. Really, really cool prompt here. But now here's where the juicy part gets in, right? Because now the artificial intelligence knows what you're looking for. And again, feel free to tell it to edit this a little bit more, but I'm just going to assume this is good enough for me. Now, I want to ask it some other things, right? So based on all this information about me, I'm going to paste in the next prompt. So now we're going into the brainstorming portion, and I'm going to paste something over here. So the reason that we did this first part is because now the artificial intelligence kind of knows what are we going for. It's not just simply throwing random information at us. It knows I'm looking for freedom. I'm interested in helping healthcare workers with, utilize artificial intelligence. It knows I like being with my family. So it kind of knows a little bit more about me. So when it responds the next time, it's going to give a lot more specific answers. So the next prompt here is based on this info about me. Okay, what is my background? I'm just going to write very, very quickly here. I'm an occupational therapist. What are you naturally good at? I'm good at creating solutions to problems, presenting on camera, helping people with their health. Interest, what you enjoy learning or talking about. I'm just going to put artificial intelligence, using AI as a healthcare worker to scale one's income, right? That's literally what I'm doing right now and really what I'm interested in. So I'm just doing it like how I would do it. And people I love to help, perfect. I can just put healthcare workers right. Maybe you're someone who just likes working with, elderly females or like young males or whatever it is, just put it in here so you can specify things. And now the next thing is, can you brainstorm 3 to 5 flexible ways I could use what I know to help others? Whether that's through content, coaching, a digital product, or something else. It's just a prompt to kind of guide the AI to where it wants to go, right? So now let's hit enter and see what it comes up with. All this is just simply a brainstorming process where you have a really smart person, a supercomputer, right, an artificial intelligence to throw ideas at and to see what sticks. Because I find that this process helps with clarity, and that's what I'm looking for. A lot of healthcare workers get stuck because they don't even know what the next step is. They don't even know what they're supposed to think because they're constantly working and never really asking themselves what do they want, right? So let's go through some of the answers. Here, number 1, AI-powered builder for healthcare workers, a digital product, right? So what is it? A self-paced digital workbook or mini course that teaches healthcare workers how to use AI. Something like ChatGPT on us. You guys tell me if that's a good idea. You can even leave a comment down below. Yeah, that's one of the suggestions right here. And yeah, this is just some extra details, why it fits. It leverages your ability to create structured solutions and your interest in helping others scale to income with AI. Perfect. Second one, YouTube channel plus AI in healthcare series. That's literally what I'm doing right now. So I'm kind of a little ahead of the game, but if I didn't know what I was doing, this would kind of like, hey, maybe you should think about doing this, right? What is it? A video series that explains in simple human terms how healthcare workers can use AI to automate admin work, build content for a side hustle, improve patient education, start digital side businesses. So you can't just accept it for what it is. You need to see and then think for yourself. Like, I don't really care about automating admin work. Building content for a side hustle, I don't really think content is like the main way you build a side hustle. I think starting digital side businesses is really important, and improving patient education, whoever your client is, the people you're helping, is important. So then I can now ask it, hey, can you please just focus on these 2 areas? Things like that, right? So you guys kind of get the idea. There's going to give you a bunch of different ones, but these are some of the things. Now, once you're like, okay, that's a great idea. Now we can move on to the third thing. How do I actually start to take action? So I have another prompt over here. And again, I will have all these prompts in the worksheet in the description. So if you guys want to try this exercise for yourself, you guys can go ahead and do that. So here's the next prompt. I'm just copying and pasting stuff right now for the sake of this video. But yeah, the worksheet will look a lot easier and tidier and will guide you to do this a lot better. Here we go. Next prompt. I'm exploring a new path that gives me more freedom and impact. Here's the idea I'm considering, okay? I'm considering idea number 1, right? What was idea number 1 again? We scroll up here, AI-powered skill builder for healthcare workers. I'm just gonna highlight this, copy it, and just put it right here. Just so like the AI now knows like, okay, you're kind of interested in number 1. I should probably explore that a little further. I'd love to work about, let's say, I'm a healthcare worker. I'm tired. Maybe I just don't have a lot of time. Maybe you have a family. Maybe you're really busy. I only have like an hour, to work on it per day. So 5 hours a week, every weekday, I can just do 1 hour. And I want to earn at least, say, I don't know, doing this $5,000 a month, just doing this one thing. 5 hours, 5 hours of work to eventually earn $5,000 a month is not too bad. right? I know it might sound like a crazy number, but that's what I want, right? Just put a crazy number and see what fits up. You'll be surprised at what you can actually achieve if you're smart using technology. That's what I believe. So I enjoy delivering value. True. I like teaching on camera, courses, and even like one-on-one. I like to do calls as well with like anyone who is interested in clients. So that's what I want to do. Can you help me outline a simple business model or service structure? Or it can be program, it can be like an educational course. Like you can prompt it however you want that fits these goals, including how I help people, what I offer, and how many clients I might need. So let's try it out, right? And then it'll literally break down everything for you. Now, it might seem a little intimidating to do all this because you're a healthcare worker, you don't know anything about business or creating courses or things like that. But that is why this is powerful, because in order to actually start your first steps, you at least have to see the path to get there. And when you see everything broken down, now you're like, okay, I can probably do that. Then you can ask the AI, can you break this down a little bit more? Can you just do one part? Like anything takes time, and anything that is worth doing isn't easy. But artificial intelligence has made it much more accessible to get into these kind of domains, because previously you had to do everything from scratch. You had to read a bunch of books, figure things out, find and scour the internet for other information. Now you can literally just ask this chatbot anything that you want. I don't think a lot of people realize how powerful that is. And when you combine it with your skills and your expertise and your experience as a healthcare worker, it is a goldmine for those who are willing to explore and do the work. I truly, truly believe that. So here we go. Let's take a look at it, right? So core offer breakdown, digital skill builder course. I'm going to ask it to get better names in the future, right? It's a self-paced course, 4 to 6 modules teaching healthcare worker pros how to use AI to identify the skills that they need, brainstorm some ideas, create digital assets, right? And then it can be about 147 to 297. My goal is to just sell 20 to 35 courses a month. Do you believe out of billions of people in the world, right? If I create something useful enough with my expertise, combining it with artificial intelligence, I can sell 20 to 35 months. Very possible. Might take a lot of work, but it's very, very possible. And that creates it. Tier number 2, right? It gives a different option. This is a one-on-one thing. It's a 60-minute Zoom session to help them apply AI course personally, to do things. So I can call and I can charge $200 to $300 a session, right? Maybe someone really, really needs it and I can charge it that way. And the goal is to just do 5 to 10, and that would give me $1,000 to $3,000 a month. So it's just simply a way for you to visualize how does success look like to you if you can do something different than what you're doing right now, or you can actually, expand on what you're doing right now, because whatever you're doing right now is the foundation, and you want to take all those skills into this new project, right? This is kind of how you do it, right? So this is kind of the general idea. I just wanted to really show you that this is one of the ways so you can bring more clarity to you. Of course, I'm kind of rushing through this process a bit because I'm making a video with you. But if you are going through this process, if you actually download the worksheet in the description and you're going through things, try to really talk to it. Like maybe you don't like this idea. Can you ask it like, hey, can you adjust so and so? What do you think about this idea? This is actually what I'm thinking about a little bit more, and keep on refining it till you find something that you're interested in, and then ask it, how do I take the first steps? I think this is it's just so underrated sometimes. People use AI to do all these fancy, crazy things and whatnot. But sometimes I think AI is just great at being like a friend or a consultant to teach you what you need to do. So at least that's my opinion about stuff. So I hope that this video was helpful to you, especially if you're a healthcare worker. I think as a healthcare worker, you have tremendous skills, such potential, but sometimes the system and how things are actually done in the healthcare system kind of limits what you can achieve. So if you're able to utilize artificial intelligence in a smart way, there is no cap, no ceiling to what you can achieve. So if you are interested in this worksheet or doing this activity yourself, go ahead and check out the description below. You can download it completely for free. If you enjoy these kind of videos, go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, because that's really my passion. That's what I'll be sharing a lot more on this channel, how you can utilize AI to actually empower and move forward in the game of life. So I hope this helps. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the very next one. Later.